The hidden story and final painful days of Marilyn Chambers. Here's why. Marilyn Chambers was a cultural icon and a trailblazer in the adult film industry. With her stunning looks and uninhibited personality, she captured the attention of the world and became a symbol of sexual liberation in the 1970s. Her story is one of ambition, perseverance, and the pursuit of the American dream. From her humble beginnings in Connecticut to her rise to fame as the Ivory Snow girl and beyond, Marilyn Chambers' life was full of twists and turns that made her a legend in her own time. In this story, we will delve into the life of Marilyn Chambers, exploring her early years, her career in adult entertainment, and the impact she had on popular culture. Marilyn Chambers was born Marilyn Ann Briggs on April 22, 1952, in Providence, Rhode Island. She was the youngest of three children, and her family moved frequently when she was a child, eventually settling in Westport, Connecticut. Her father was in advertising, and her mother was a nurse. Chambers attended high school in Westport and was a cheerleader and a member of the drama club. After graduating, she moved to Florida to attend college, but she dropped out and returned to Connecticut. She worked as a model and waitress before moving to New York City in the early 1970s to pursue a career in theater. After several minor roles in mainstream films, Chambers received her big break in the adult film industry in 1972 when she was cast in a lead role for the film Behind a Green Door. The film, which was produced by the Mitchell brothers, was an instant success and catapulted Chambers to fame as a pornographic actress. Chambers' performance in Behind a Green Door was well received by critics and audiences alike, and the film became one of the highest-grossing adult films of all time. The film's success helped to legitimize the adult film industry, and Chambers became a prominent figure in the industry. She went on to star in several other adult films, including Resurrection of Eve and Beyond the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. The success of Behind a Green Door brought both fame and controversy to Marilyn Chambers. Although she had appeared in mainstream films prior to her work in adult films, her involvement in Behind a Green Door brought her more attention than ever before, and also resulted in legal troubles for both her and the film's producers. In some states, the film was deemed obscene, and its screening was banned. The distributors of the film were charged with obscenity, and Chambers herself faced public backlash and criticism from some feminist groups who accused her of exploiting herself and other women in the industry. Chambers was often asked about her work in the adult film industry, and she defended herself and her right to choose what she did with her own body. She maintained that she was not exploited, but rather a willing participant who enjoyed her work and was proud of it. Despite the controversy, Chambers continued to work in the adult film industry, as well as appearing in mainstream films and television shows. Her career spanned several decades, and she became known as one of the most recognizable figures in the adult film industry. Chambers' success in the adult film industry also led to opportunities in mainstream entertainment. She appeared on several television shows and in films including Rabid and Angel of Heat. Despite her success, however, Chambers' career in the adult film industry was not without controversy, and she faced criticism and backlash from some critics and feminist groups who saw her as a symbol of exploitation and degradation of women. Her personal life was marked by a series of marriages and struggles with drug addiction. Her first marriage was to a man named Doug Chapin, who she met while he was playing bagpipes for money on the streets of San Francisco. They were married in 1971, but their union was short-lived and they divorced in 1974. She then married Chuck Traynor, who had recently divorced from Linda Lovelace. Traynor became Chambers' manager, and the two were together for a decade. By the mid-1980s, Chambers had developed a severe addiction to alcohol and cocaine and was heading towards a tragic end. However, fate intervened when she met William Taylor Jr., a truck driver, on a blind date. After their first date, Taylor revealed that he was a recovering heroin addict and could not see her again. Chambers was so angry that she kicked a wall and broke her leg. Despite their rocky start, Taylor came to visit Chambers in the hospital, and they began a romance soon after. Chambers entered Narcotics Anonymous and began her journey towards recovery. They were married in 1990 and had one child, McKenna Marie Taylor, in 1992. Sadly, their marriage did not last, and they divorced in 1994. Chambers' struggles with drug addiction were well documented, but her eventual recovery was a testament to her strength and resilience. When she became clean and sober during the early 1990s, she proudly displayed a vanity plate on her Lexus that read, "Love NA." It was a symbol of her commitment to her new way of life and a reminder that she was a survivor. Chambers eventually overcame her addiction and became an advocate for drug rehabilitation and awareness. Chambers continued to work in the adult film industry throughout the 1980s and 1990s, but she also began to focus on other areas of her life, including her family and her advocacy work. In 2002, she published an autobiography titled My Story, in which she reflected on her life and career. Marilyn Chambers' impact on the adult film industry and popular culture can hardly be overstated. She was a trailblazer, a feminist icon, and an inspiration to many women who followed in her footsteps. Chambers' success in Behind the Green Door paved the way for other adult films to be more widely accepted in mainstream culture. Her work challenged the idea that sex had to be shameful or hidden, and helped to start a conversation about sexual liberation and freedom. Her influence extended beyond the world of adult films as Chambers became a household name in the 1970s. She was featured in a number of mainstream films and television shows, including The Ivory Ape and MacGyver, and even appeared on the covers of major magazines such as People and Playboy. Despite her controversial work, Chambers was widely respected for her commitment to her craft and her willingness to speak out about the rights of women to choose what they did with their bodies. She continued to defend her work throughout her life, even in the face of opposition from those who sought to censor or restrict it. In many ways, Chambers' legacy can be seen in the changes that have taken place in society's attitudes towards sex and sexuality over the past few decades. While there is still much work to be done, Chambers' contributions to the fight for sexual liberation and equality should not be underestimated. Overall, Marilyn Chambers' legacy as a feminist icon and trailblazer in the adult film industry will continue to inspire and influence generations to come. Unfortunately, Marilyn Chambers passed away on April 12, 2009 at the age of 56. Her death was sudden and unexpected, and the cause of death was later determined to be a cerebral hemorrhage. Chambers had collapsed in her home in Canyon Country, California, and was rushed to a hospital where she died shortly after her arrival. The news of her death shocked many people who knew her, including her fans and colleagues in the adult film industry. Chambers had been active in the industry for many years and was still making occasional appearances at adult film conventions and events at the time of her death. While Chambers' life was not without its challenges, her story serves as a reminder of the importance of following one's dreams and making choices that feel authentic and true. Despite the controversy and challenges she faced, Chambers never wavered in her commitment to living life on her own terms, and her legacy continues to inspire others to do the same. Rest in peace, Marilyn Chambers. Goodbye.